Hello folks, I am the old sergeant. As you have heard, the president stopped an attack against Iran with about 10 minutes to spare. Because he heard, after he asked how many casualties there would be, he was given the figure of 150. He didn't think that a $150 million drone was worth 150 Iranian lives, including the devastation that would occur to the families of those people. Now, when I was thinking about retaliation, I didn't even think of casualties. I was thinking of SAM sites sitting out there all by their lonesome, nobody around, middle of the night. And I thought that would be a proper thing to do, is to take out the SAM sites. But when we're dealing with lives, that's a totally different matter. So I agree with the president that the drone wasn't worth 150 lives. Now we know that most of the folks are going to think that this was showing weakness to the Iranians, and for some of the Iranians it will be. The leadership, the Republican Guard. But the Iranian people probably see it for what it was, is concerned about the 150 lives and the families that would be devastated by loss of a loved one. So there's going to be mixed reaction. We're not dealing with a normal country here, like Russia, where there's mutual assured destruction. They know that if they take us out, we'll take them out. That's the understanding most countries have. Most countries want to survive. But Iranian's theocracy is they're perfectly willing to have the destruction of their country if it means they set the world afire and their 12th Imam comes in to spread Islam throughout the world. So we're not dealing with normal reactions. We also have people like Chuck Schumer that goes and plays politics with it, saying that we're bungling our way into a war. And they're all worried about the warmongers like Ambassador Bolton. The reality is, yes, we have pro-military action against Iran, and we also have Dove advisors in the administration saying no. The president wants all viewpoints, and all viewpoints to be clearly and completely defined so he can make a decision. One of the things that they talk about is that the president has a lot of intelligence that we don't have to make our personal decisions on. He knows details of what's happening within Iran right now. We know that they're close to economic collapse. The sanctions are really biting into them now. We know that the population is rising up. Last time they rose up, they had snipers killing unarmed women in the streets. I remember a woman by the name of Sultan lying in the street, bloody, shot through the neck because she dared protest her government during the Green Revolution. And we did nothing because the Obama administration was trying to push through this god-awful treaty, which never did get ratified. So the president is playing very careful. What is going to happen is going to be largely determined by the Iranians. You also notice that there isn't any large troop movements into the area. An actual ground war with Iran would require hundreds of thousands of troops. But we have high tech. missiles, aircraft, pinpoint accuracy, we can devastate the country and be done with it, with probably minimum to no losses on our side. We just don't want to do that. The whole thing is not about oil. We were accused in Iraq that it's all about the oil. Frankly, I think it should have been partially by the oil. We should have made a deal with the new Iraqi government we installed that we get the rights to the oil, and that some of that oil is going to be used to pay back the American government for freeing them and for restitution for the lives lost. We should have done that, and we didn't. And we didn't even get the rights to the oil there. Our current situation is that we don't need oil. We've got enough of our own. We even sell it. The oil that's coming out of the area is now going to like Japan and China, all the Asian nations. And you would think that they would want to come and protect their own passageway through the strait there, rather than always relying on the Americans to do it for them, just because we've been doing it for them since World War II. But it is really dependent on what happens in Iran. Our best hope is that the people rise up, take out the theocracy, and they become a normal nation, which will thrive, and we will help them thrive. What's acceptable is that they come to the table, stop their nuclear program, stop their support of terrorism around the world, and allow inspections anywhere at any time. Instead of stupid current agreement that the places that they would be building the nuclear weapon and doing all the enrichment, we weren't allowed to inspect. Or if we were, we have to give them something like a 30-day notice. Totally ridiculous nonsense. We will accept that because our main concern is the nuclear weapons. Because we know once they get them, they will use them. They will sneak them into the United States. They'll sneak them into Israel. All their work for missile technology right now is to be able to put a nuclear warhead on it, launch it from the Gulf of Mexico, from a tanker, over the middle of the United States and set off an EMP attack, which would be devastating and would destroy the country. We're dealing with really serious situation. And of course, the Democrats are playing freaking politics, while the survival of our country and the world's at stake. Iran is that serious, and we should be supporting the president, because he knows a lot more about what's going on than we do, a lot more than he can tell us. So let's hope and pray that the best option happens. Stay vigilant, patriots.